Okay, class. So now this last demo for the leg model. This is the muscles that move the foot and the toes. So I'm using this model before that we used. Let me just use the eraser. Okay, the eraser has stopped working for some reason. Okay, so let me just get going with the writing then. So here we went over the muscles of the posterior compartment. So I'm going to do a quick recap. Gluteus medius, gluteus maximus, we saw this before. Now you can see the gracilis here. You can see the semitendinosus. Below that, you can see the semimembranosus. So let me change the color here. Then you can see the biceps femoris. Okay, now we are looking at the muscles that move the foot. So basically, we are looking at the crural and sural area. So we're looking at the posterior aspect. On the posterior aspect, the largest muscle is the gastrocnemius. There are two heads of that. So these two together, these are the two heads, lateral head, medial head, or just call it gastrocnemius. Okay, gastrocnemius. I'm not sure if how legible this is. And soleus, gastrocnemius and soleus, these two coexist together. The relationship is similar to semitendinosus and semimembranosus. Just like when you are looking at semitendinosus, you can see the semimembranosus underneath the tendinosus. See, this is the tendinosus here, the border of the tendinosus. On either side of the tendinosus, you can see the semimembranosus. Similarly, deeper to the gastrocnemius, you can see the soleus often on both sides. Depending on how the model is turned, it might be more visible either to the left or to the right, but soleus is visible on both sides deeper to the gastrocnemius. So this is the soleus. Is that oh, okay, it did work. All right, so soleus. You can see kind of here too. So gastrocnemius, soleus. On the posterior aspect, you also see plantaris. Plantaris is a tiny muscle, but it's one of the critical muscles. It's visible only on the lateral side. Much of it is covered by gastrocnemius, and it's not a very large muscle like pectineus. Pectineus is a small muscle, but it is one of the important adductors. So plantaris is only visible on the lateral side. So I'm going to change the color and show you where the plantaris is going to be. Plantaris is right here, this muscle. See that tiny muscle? That's plantaris. So right there, that on the lateral aspect. So gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris. Okay. So you can kind of see the gastrocnemius. Plantaris, I'm not sure if this model is even showing plantaris. So I wouldn't get to that conversation, get into that discussion at all. So besides that, on the anterior aspect, you can see the tibialis anterior. Tibialis anterior, right there. And this is the posterior aspect with gastrocnemius soleus complex being completely removed. So what you see here, this somewhat small muscle, not too large. This is the tibialis posterior. Tibialis anterior, tibialis posterior. So a different model, tibialis anterior, you know that by looking at the tibia. This is the muscle that's immediately next to the tibia, tibialis anterior, tibialis anterior. And here, posterior aspect, again, you can see the plantaris. These two are the heads of the gastrocnemius. You can see the soleus below the gastrocnemius. You can see the soleus here too. Remember, on either side. And here, toward the bottom, what the gastrocnemius is inserted to, this is the calcaneal tendon. I would like to see calcaneal tendon as a response in the exam as opposed to Achilles tendon. It's commonly referred to as the Achilles tendon, but I would like to see the word calcaneal tendon. Okay. And here, gastrocnemius soleus, completely removed. This muscle, see that? This is the tibialis posterior. This is between the flexor digitorum longus, which is a straight muscle, and another straight muscle, which is the flexor hallucis longus. We are not studying this. Flexor digitorum longus, flexor hallucis longus. We are not studying this, but you can use it as reference. Two straight muscles, straight, straight, and not so straight, slightly angular, is the tibialis posterior. Slightly angular, tibialis posterior. Ignore this, this is not on our list. But you do see the gastrocnemius again, gastrocnemius, you see the soleus. Here also you see the gastrocnemius, you see the soleus, see the calcaneal tendon. Here you can see the calcaneal tendon. Same thing, calcaneal tendon, gastrocnemius. See, this one is not showing the plantaris. So, and below the gastrocnemius, a little bit here, you can see the soleus. So basically, that completes our muscles of the hip region, thigh region, or femoral region, and muscles that move the leg.